We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. Another violent weekend in Baltimore. A shooting inside a Fells Point bar, this time involving a security guard. We are taking a closer look at the crime and how it compares to this same time last year. And in Annapolis, the countdown is on. Lawmakers have until midnight tonight to pass their bills and get them over into the other chamber. We're going to show you the high-profile bill still up for debate. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We have some breaking news this morning. A Texas school is on lockdown following a shooting. The Arlington Independent School District says 2 Lamar High School students are now in the hospital after being shot. Police say they do have a suspect in custody. Today marked their first day back to school after spring break. Topping your session 2023 news, it is crossover day in Annapolis. That's the deadline for bills to pass in one chamber and then be sent over to the other in order to have a chance at becoming law. Taylor Stewart brings us a closer look at the bills that are still up for debate as tonight's midnight deadline nears.
Today is the final day. Lawmakers have until midnight to get some major crime legislation through one chamber into the next. And so we've been tracking some of those bills. One is the proposed legislation from City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. It would increase the maximum penalty from 3 to 5 years for illegal gun offenders. That's one we're watching. Another one we're keeping our eyes on is one that would increase the reward amount to $50,000 for anyone who comes forward to help solve a crime. And then there's the Violent Firearms Offender Act, a bill we've seen multiple times before, introduced by former Governor Larry Hogan. It targets repeat offenders with stricter penalties. We spoke to a political analyst who says lawmakers are going to have to show some progress today, and he expects some of these bills to move forward.
I think there's going to be a sense of urgency to get some legislation passed to show that at least progress is being made. That's why I think we talked about the Bates bill before, the public hearing the day after, the kind of show there's a sense of urgency to amend it in.
When it comes to the proposed legislation that Ivan Bates is back, political analyst John Deedy says he does not think that'll pass as a standalone measure. He thinks it'll be layered into another bill in order for it to actually become law. He also mentioned a bill proposed by Senator Jill Carter that would keep any juvenile 18 or younger in the juvenile system regardless of the crime. Deedy says he doesn't think that will pass because it is an election cycle and Democrats may not want to appear soft on crime, but we'll keep you updated as those bills move forward here. Taylor Stewart in Baltimore, Fox 45 News.
Fox 45 News is helping you to make your voice heard. If you want to reach out to your lawmakers to let them know what you'd like to see passed, scan the QR code on your screen. It will take you to our website where we've put together a list of email addresses and phone numbers for state senators and delegates. In a city in crisis, it was another violent weekend. The Fells Point community is on edge after a fight ends with one person shot. Police say a security guard shot a man during an altercation. Authorities tell Fox 45 News the incident happened inside of a restaurant just before 2:30 Sunday morning.
I heard the crime up here is really bad. I don't like to be around places where there's a lot of crime.
The crime is a little excessive, and it's unfortunate that, a lot of people are getting comfortable with all these firearms.
Now, it's unclear if the man who was shot was armed or if any charges are expected. Restaurant management and employees where the shooting happened declined to speak with us. A 27-year-old man was shot in Northwest Baltimore. It happened last night around 9 on Marmon Avenue. That man was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Anyone with information is urged to contact police directly or Metro Crime Stoppers. The number there on your screen, 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. 11:04. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number 1, a vigil in West Baltimore for 3 children who died in a fire Saturday. 2 adults are in critical condition. Last night, a huge crowd gathered around family members to show their support and to honor the young lives lost. Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Mayor Brandon Scott promising that the city will conduct a thorough investigation to find out what happened. This was the second deadly fire within 2 days in Baltimore. Trending number 2, City Councilman Zeke Cohen is making it official. He announced his candidacy for City Council President this weekend. Cohen is promising supporters to rebuild the city with everyone's help. But to do it, he'll have to unseat current City Council President Nick Mosby. During his announcement, Cohen took aim at his opponent.
The honest truth is that some of our leaders have become an impediment to our progress. Too much time is spent settling petty grievances, trying to pass bills that make no sense, and repeatedly violating the ethics code.
Now, Nick Mosby, who is the current president and says he plans to run for re-election, released a statement on Zeke Cohen's campaign saying the council president looked forward to the campaign season where both candidates will focus on the issues impacting Baltimore and their visions for the city moving forward. Trending number 3 in topping world news, Chinese leader Xi Jinping is visiting Russia today for a meeting with President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin says the two leaders will discuss the partnership between their two countries. The trip comes days after the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Putin, accusing him of war crimes. Trending number 4, it has now been 20 years since the start of the war in Iraq. Last night was the anniversary of the aerial attack known as Shock and Awe. Today marks the anniversary of the start of the ground invasion. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Still ahead, it is National Proposal Day. Coming up, how a man's fake public proposal is going viral, but for all the right reasons. But first, Miami is implementing a new curfew following weekend violence. The changes the city is making ahead of spring break. And Donald Trump says he is going to be arrested this week. The claims he's making and what the DA is saying about it.
Well, our weather story for your Monday, milder and less windy. We are seeing those temperatures that will be closer to average and a warmer week ahead. I think you're going to like some of those numbers as we head later into the week. In fact, today, not too bad. Mid-50s, upper 30s tonight, and then lower 60s on the way for your Tuesday. Back with that 7-day forecast and even our 10-day forecast as well. We'll add 3 more days just for you.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
.11:09 and making headlines. The women Terps are moving on to their 3rd straight Sweet 16. The women's basketball team beat out the number 7 seed Arizona 77-64. Now Maryland, the number 2 seed, will go on to face the number 3 seed Notre Dame. That's Saturday in Greenville, South Carolina. On the men's side, the season unfortunately came to an end for the Terps. They lost to the number 1 seed Alabama Saturday night, 73-51. 11:09 and taking a look at your social stream now. Donald Trump says he expects to be arrested this week. In a Truth Social post this weekend, the former president says he expects that it will happen Tuesday, tomorrow. Now, while there is no official word yet from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, grand jury proceedings are nearing the end, with the last-minute witness set to testify today at the request of Trump's legal team. Trump is being investigated for his role in an alleged hush money scheme involving payments made in 2016. Echoing his calls for action after the 2020 election, Trump told his social media followers to protest and take our nation back. Federal, state, and local authorities are now preparing for the possibility of unrest. Here's what you're saying on social media. Sure he will. We've been hearing this for years. I'll believe it when I see it. Another person, haven't we seen this playbook before? It's possible the leak indicated no arrests will be made, giving Mar-a-Lago an opportunity to downplay charges and call them fake. If true, think he'd say anything? Same guy who laid the groundwork for denial in 2018 for the 2020 election? Well, a weekend reading event in New York City is sparking protests. A storytime event at a city bookstore featured books about gender identity and were read by drag queens. That prompted protesters to gather outside the bookstore, but inside, the event was applauded. We're hearing from you about this. One person saying children shouldn't be exposed to this, period. Another saying, my kids grew up in Greenwich Village, exposed to all kinds of diversity, attended many Pride Parade events, have LGBTQ friends and parents of friends. They are thoughtful, intelligent, open-minded, non-judgmental humans, and it is serving them well. I couldn't be prouder. The city of Miami Beach is imposing a curfew after 2 deadly shootings over the weekend. The curfew runs from midnight to 6 a.m. on weekends. It mainly affects South Beach, the most popular location for spring break parties. Here's what you're saying about it. Every spring break is what Rose says. Another person, what a normal country. Well, still ahead, we're taking a closer look at the continued fallout from the second major banking collapse, how it could put other banks at risk. But first, we are dissecting the city's crime numbers. We're going to look at how the numbers compare to last year's numbers, what it all means for city residents. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:12 now on Fox 45 News Midday. (11:14), we are back with a live look of Washington, D.C.'s famous cherry trees, which are expected to hit peak bloom this week. A lot of people are concerned that the cold weather would hurt the famous cherry blossoms, but according to the National Park Service, they should be fine. Peak bloom is expected to happen Wednesday through Saturday. Already very pretty. Well, in a city in crisis already this year, 53 people have lost their lives to violence in Baltimore. That is down from this point last year. Non-fatal shootings are also down. In addition, police have made arrests and cleared more murders than at this same point last year. Earlier this morning, I spoke with political commentator Armstrong Williams for his take on what these numbers show us.
What this tells us that if Mayor Brandon Scott, if he allows his law enforcement officers to do their job and arrest people and keep repeat offenders locked up, then more lives will be saved in Baltimore. It's common sense. What the mayor is telling us is that they have the capacity, if the people rumble and cry enough, to reduce crime. Can we reduce crime to the point where we have far fewer than the number of people that died this time last year? That remains to be seen. But I think it is encouraging.
To see the full interview, just head to our website, FOX45.com. And we want to know what you think. Are elected leaders taking the crime crisis seriously enough? So far, 98% of those who have voted say yes or say no. You can head to FOX45.com/vote to weigh in. Developing now, First Citizen Bank shares might offer to buy Silicon Valley Bank. That is according to Bloomberg. The FDIC is still deciding whether to fully sell or to break up sales of the bank. Bloomberg is reporting a person familiar with the situation says First Citizens is not the only bank looking to buy SVB. There is at least one other potential buyer. New research suggests more than 180 U.S. banks could fail if depositors suddenly withdrew their money. The study by the Social Science Research Network played out a scenario in which each bank experienced a run. The researchers found uninsured depositors have incentive to withdraw their funds if a bank is facing failure, and that can put insured depositors in jeopardy. Looking ahead this week, the Federal Reserve may raise interest rates yet again. According to reports, economists believe the Fed will likely approve a quarter-point rate hike at its upcoming meeting. It would be the 9th straight time the Fed has raised rates to help cool down inflation. The rate hike would come as fears of a banking crisis grow after Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank collapsed over financial instability. Coming up tonight on Fox 45 News at 4, the final chance for lawmakers to advance bills in Annapolis this legislative session. We're taking a closer look at how their priorities stack up against calls for change from Marylanders. Then at 5, just how much money does the state have, and is it enough to cover the governor's plans? We are pressing Maryland's comptroller on if we may see tax hikes in the future. Then at 6, a community group says they're finding thousands of used drug needles on the street, the steps they say the city needs to take to keep the streets clean. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. 11:17 and now to today's talking point. Before you roll your eyes and groan at someone's dad jokes, consider this. A new study finds the jokes may have a positive impact on childhood development. Researchers at the British Psychological Society argue the wholesome, usually corny jokes may teach kids how to be more resilient. The study says the cringeworthy puns and stale jokes empower kids to overcome being embarrassed by their fathers. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. This study is making me laugh, but here we go. I'm teeing it up for you. Take a swing at it, Mark. Give me your best dad joke.
Well, I got a million of them. You know, the oldest one in the book is with the kids when I say, don't assume. You know why? You know why?
Yes.
And then one that I regret for my youngest. He's a Virgo. And I'd be like, Virgo, weirdo. That's not good. That's not good.
Well, it said you were teaching kids to be more resilient. I don't know.
Yes, and... you know, well, then one of my classics, can I say that on television?
I don't know. If you said it to your daughters, chances are you can't.
Right. Well, you know, what kind of tea?
You're hemming and hawing too much. Maybe I should let you out of this one before you get yourself in trouble.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Let's stop it before I get arrested.
Your dad jokes went harder than I was thinking. I was thinking like, you know, what do you call an angry carrot? Steamed vegetables. I was thinking a lot more pure.
Wait a minute. So you have better dad jokes than I do. Wow.
I've been around dads. And I work with a bunch of men around here.
Daddy's girl.
They're corny all the time. No, I'm kidding. All right. Thanks, Mark. It may be the first day of spring, but Mother Nature has other plans, at least in California. As meteorologist Justin Chambers is showing us, they have some snow up to their second floor windows. That's a joke.
Well, how about this for snow? This is from the Kirkwood Ski Resort. This is a second floor. That's what it looks like out the second floor with that much snow, as of course folks out west have just been bombarded with a whole ton of snow, and this is what they've been dealing with for weeks now. Great news for the snowpack in the Sierra, and that drought has, well, at least temporarily taken a step back in the western United States. Now, we got pretty much snowless for the entire winter here. Our hour-by-hour forecast, upper 50s and upper 40s and low to mid 50s as we take you into the hour-by-hour into the afternoon. Overall, plenty of sunshine, not as windy as well, and we'll see milder conditions with those temperatures that are closer to average for this time of year. The sun will be up until 7:18 tonight on your spring equinox day. Upper 40s and low to mid 50s across Carroll and Baltimore counties for your highs this afternoon. Same thing for you in Howard and Anne Arundel counties. We'll keep those low to mid 50s going as well throughout the later part of the day. Up and down the 95 corridor, 50s continue for New York and Philly, all the way down through D.C., even in western Maryland, getting into the lower 50s for Cumberland. Now, the vernal equinox officially is at 5:24 Eastern time today. So that's when the Earth's axis is tilted neither toward nor away from the sun. You get the sun's rays right over the equator, and we typically have equal amount of daylight and darkness at pretty much all latitudes. As for flying today, great day to do that today, pilots. Not as windy. We're talking about VFR, visual flight rules. And that's because we've got nothing but clear skies out there, not only today, but tomorrow as well. We will track a little bit more in the way of cloud cover coming in on Wednesday. And then by Thursday, may see a stray shower or two. That's what's going to get us into the weekend with those temperatures that are going to stay in the above average category. But again, we're bringing in some more rain. So 50s today, lower 60s through Wednesday, lower 70s on Thursday, and then we'll keep those 60s into the weekend. Again, a few of those rain showers late Friday into Saturday left over a bit, but by Sunday we should dry out. And we'll be a little bit cooler toward the middle of next week.
All right, Justin, thank you. Still ahead, check your freezer. We've got a major recall to tell you about. And is customer error partly to blame for long wait times on drive-up orders? The common mistake customers are making that could be holding up your order. And it's an all-new night of TV tonight at 8. It's 911 Recovery. Then at 9, it's a TMZ special. TMZ investigates 9/11, the fifth plane. And then stick around for your day's top weather, news, headlines, Fox 45 News at 10. And then, of course, the late edition at 11. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25. Don't miss this. If you use Target's Drive Up feature on the app, make sure you're using it the right way, or you could find yourself waiting longer for your order. A report by Business Insider finds some customers aren't using the arrival notices correctly. Instead of sending an en route notice to give employees a heads up, customers are signing in once they've already arrived. According to the report, that is causing a bottleneck inside the store, and it's leading to longer wait times. Check your freezer. Frozen fruit is being recalled over concerns of a hepatitis A contamination. The Scenic Fruit Company is recalling frozen organic strawberries and tropical fruit blend packages. The recall comes after an outbreak of hepatitis A illnesses. The tropical blend packages were sold at Trader Joe's nationwide. The strawberries were sold under the Made With brand in Maryland. We want to take a minute to wish a very special birthday today to Eleanor Hull. She is turning 105. She has lived in Carroll County since the day she was born. She loves flowers and gardening. She graduated from Maryland Institute of Art in 1939. Here she is showing us a birthday card that she got that was signed by former Governor Larry Hogan. Now, another very special fact about Eleanor is that last year and the year before that, on her 103rd and 104th birthdays, our very own Traffic Jam Jimmy visited her. This is a picture from just 1 year ago. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
Hey, Patrice, it's National Proposal Day. A man is going viral for fake proposing, but it's not what you think. Why fans online are loving it and supporting him for his crazy antics. Be More Lifestyle up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark. This is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio B at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with Samantha Mitchell, the founder of the Black Women of Aviation. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, let me tell you right now, he may be a man's best friend, but it turns out your dog may be costing you some shut-eye. A new study finds while pets can have a positive effect on overall health, having a pet is linked to poor sleep. Researchers say having a dog was linked to a greater risk of having a sleep disorder and overall trouble sleeping, while having a cat was linked to having a higher chance of leg jerks in the night. Samantha, do you have any pets?
Nope. And this is why I sleep so good, Mark.
Wow. Samantha doesn't have pets. Lady T, you do not have pets.
Oh, no. I did not have pets either, but let me tell you something. This may be why. No, I don't have pets. But to be honest, like, there's other things that make you have poor sleep also. For example, bills. When you think about the bills every day, I lose a little bit of sleep over that. So, yeah.
Lady T, you're not going to throw away the pets. We have two dogs. Shout out to Lady Bird Johnson and shout out to Gabby.
Aww.
And no, Gabby is bossy at night. She will get up and bark and want to be let out. But, you know, I get up so early,
why.
It doesn't matter anyway. I mean, 3 a.m.
You wake up super early, so they're just ahead of the time. They're just helping you out.
That's right. It's National Proposal Day, and one man's fake proposal is going viral, and believe it or not, it's for all the right reasons. See, he's not proposing to his girlfriend, but instead his wife. Derek and Kelly have been happily married for years, but that doesn't stop him from showering his wife with fake public proposals. What? He's done it at restaurants, at the beach, even at theme parks where onlookers are none the wiser, and then shower the couple with cheers and claps. So, I don't know. This seems kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think? Samantha, what you think about this?
Look, after you go through the proposal phase and then you get married, it's like, what's next? So he's just trying to reignite the excitement. Like, you get your ring and it's like, look, let's just keep doing it. So, look, I'm with them. It's fun. And everybody celebrates you when it's like, they're thinking that. He's looking for attention. He's looking to be celebrated, y'all.
Okay, that's surprising. Lady T, are you mad at him?
It sounds like I am a little mad at him, yes. It sounds like he's doing it for clout, a little bit of an attention seeker, in my opinion.
Yeah, look at me.
But, I mean, because after the first proposal was supposed to make it happen. It's supposed to do everything it needs to do. If you got to propose to me multiple times, then we got a problem. We need to be in counseling, maybe, okay?
Okay, we want you to tell it. What do you think? Are you a fan of public proposals? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the Lifestyle tab. You can also vote on FOX45, our news app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody's talking about. Okay, a dating coach is calling out the 4 most common mistakes inexperienced men make while dating.
I need to hear this. Come on.
Blaine Anderson says she's coached 1,500 men when it comes to finding love. She says she discovered the most common mistake that prevent them from finding love. Number 1, top of the list, too strong. Men often mask their feelings, hiding how they truly feel. Many are also guilty of reading too much into things, followed by not staying present, whether it be in the conversation or the relationship as a whole.
Big facts.
Okay, Samantha, what's the top one that you noticed with men, or have you noticed?
So it's been a while, y'all, but coming on too strong. Just talking to my 20-year-old, who she's in the dating scene right now. Like, these cats out here are crazy.
Yeah, they are. She's right. They are.
And it's like there's no respect for you anymore. They're just strong, and they're wrong and strong.
By the way, Lady T is available. Lady T, what do you find?
Lady T is available. Don't be putting me out there.
Lady T is looking for...
You put me on. You serve me up on a platter. No, but definitely she's definitely right. These are like the top mistakes that they're making. The hover game, when we at the bar or the club and you were hovering over me after you buy me that first drink, that's unattractive. I'm gonna want you to go back to the other side of the room. I am not your prey. You cannot stop it. You really got to stop coming on so strong, to be honest. But there's other mistakes they make it too. Like when you buy me a drink, buy my friends drinks too. Hey, listen, okay.
Wait a minute.
When you invite me out to dinner, make sure you cover that tab, that bill, baby. Okay, there's other things they need to be doing.
Lady T, when he buys the drink, does that get conversation or does he get the drink and go?
No. I stay and have a conversation because I'm gonna make it worth your time. Okay. I'm gonna make it worth your time. You're gonna buy me that drink, and then can lead to some other things, which is great. But I just want to encourage the men out there to buy that first drink. You never know where it can lead.
Now, Samantha, I know it's been a while, but Samantha, give us one of the old school. What the guys used to do when you were on the market?
Ooh, look, I mean, you gotta pay to play.
Come on.
Wait a minute.
Come on. It's like, I felt that in my shine now. Go ahead, girl. Tell it.
You absolutely have to pay. Like, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna pay, but it's a test. So if you fail the test, it's a wrap. You You out. You out.
You got to pass
awesome.
that test. That's right.
All right, we'll see you guys later on the show. Still ahead, are you living with knee pain or knee joint or joint pain? I know I am. Coming up, we'll talk to a local doctor about new treatments that can offer relief. But first, a new way to keep your car cleaned and organized, a new handy cup holder tray that will fit just about everything. Your computer, your TV, your drink, a snack, coming up.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Do you need a little extra space for cups and devices in your car? Well, Genevieve Gorder has a clever solution at a money-saving price. Here's today's America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, I have a product that solves a pet peeve so many of us have when we jump in our car. The cup holder that isn't big enough to hold your cup, your water bottle, your coffee. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the solution. This is the Cup Captain from Sharper Image. It's a 2-in-1 cup holder that rotates 360 degrees and doubles your storage space. You just twist to fit any size cup holder right here, and it locks it in place so nothing will tip. Now, here's my favorite part. You know, you all have this water bottle that doesn't fit in the cup holder, and it rolls around on the ground, on your lap. It's annoying. This will adjust to fit large or small. So gone are the days of your water bottle falling on the floor and clanking around. This expands and contracts to fit any size cup, just right. And the great news is that it's not just for drinks. The Cup Captain is perfect for all kinds of things. It holds food containers, tablets right here, even your wallet. We all have these organizational systems for our desks, our nightstands, our kitchens, our closets. Why wouldn't we have that same approach to an area we spend so much time in? Our cars. It's perfect for kids in the back holding their snacks and their tablets. And we're offering 25% off today, you guys. And it's a 2-pack. To take advantage of this deal and save money, go to asadeals.com.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by the Centers for Advanced Orthopedics.
We're pleased to welcome Dr. Ira Gell from the Potomac Valley Orthopedics, part of the Centers for Advanced Orthopedics, a team with more than 400 providers and over 60 convenient locations. Dr. Gell practices here in Columbia, Maryland. Gell, how you doing?
Good, good.
So tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I've been in practice for about 23 years here in Columbia. I'm an orthopedic surgeon with sports medicine specialization.
Awesome. And so tell me, what injuries do you see the most?
So I see a wide variety of injuries. In orthopedics, we see all kinds of stuff, but my primary focus is knee and shoulder. So I see a lot of knee injuries. Meniscus tears would probably be a large percentage. ACL tears, other ligament injuries like MCL tears. And then I see a lot of shoulder injuries, which are shoulder instabilities after dislocation or overuse, like a superior labral tear in throwers, and rotator cuff tears in the older athlete.
So what's an ACL tear and how do you avoid this type of injury?
So an ACL tear is a tear of a specific ligament in your knee, which is this ligament. It's very important for stability of the knee. It occurs in cutting and twisting sports. It can occur in contact or non-contact sports. The prevention, unfortunately, is not possible in all cases, but proper conditioning, proper warm-up, proper training, proper technique, proper shoe wear can reduce your risk. And lastly, there are some programs, plyometric jump training programs, that can actually reduce the risk significantly in primarily women.
Can you talk to us about the treatment options at home?
Okay, so if you tear your ACL, there's not a lot you could do to treat that injury, definitively.
Okay.
But in the short term, rest, ice, compression, elevation, you don't want to super compress it, because if you too tight, you're going to get swelling in your lower leg. Advil, reduce pain, swelling. But honestly, if you have an ACL tear and the signs of an ACL tear, you really need care from a doctor.
Well, speaking of that, when do you know it's time to contact a doctor like yourself?
Okay, so for any injury, but specifically for the knee, if there is visible swelling of the joint, if there is mechanical locking of the joint, if the joint feels unstable, clearly if there's a deformity of the joint, those are indications you should probably see a specialist to at least have an evaluation and probably an x-ray.
And what are some preventative measures that athletes can take to avoid injury?
Okay, so obviously there are some injuries that are going to happen no matter what you do. If you're going to participate in sports, that's a risk. But there are certain things we can do to reduce that risk. And the things that are most effective are proper conditioning. So you shouldn't go and that weekend guy who doesn't do any conditioning and just goes out Sunday morning. Actually, I remember my father was like that. He would go out and play basketball Sunday mornings. That's all. He didn't stretch. He didn't work out. He didn't stay in shape during the week. And, you get injuries that way, and he did.
Well, Dr. Gill, thank you for this powerful information. Appreciate it. So again, thank you, Dr. Gill, for helping us stay safe while participating in all your favorite sports. To learn more or schedule your appointment with CAO, visit pvoac.com. Still ahead, a record number of Americans are living with Alzheimer's. We'll talk about ways not only patients, but their families and caregivers can get support. And we're celebrating women who are making history. We'll sit down with the founder of Black Women in Aviation, talk about how women are breaking barriers.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
All right. Hey, everyone. It's Women's History Month, and we're recognizing women making history in all areas. Our next guest is taking her dreams to new heights, specifically to the skies. All right. So today we're joined by Samantha Mitchell, founder of the Black Women in Aviation. Welcome to the show, Samantha.
Oh, so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
And you look fabulous, of course.
Well, thank you.
All right. So tell us about your job in aviation. What do you do?
So I've been in aviation for over 20 years. I've held multiple jobs, but when I first started, I started as the first female mechanic out at JFK in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah, and but my dream was always to work for the Boeing company. And so the remainder of my career, I've been at Boeing just working in multiple groups, research and development, product support, and then now I'm on the program management side. So I'm not necessarily doing the level of hands-on work that I used to do. But I'm overseeing all the amazing techs that are doing all the work. So that's just as fulfilling. And then I don't have to work third shift. That third shift, cold winters, hot summers. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal.
That's awesome. Okay, so I've never met anybody like you, a Black woman in aviation. You have your own program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So exactly. You've never met anyone like me. And so part of it really is because the percentage of Black women in aviation is such a small percent. I identified that I never saw myself. I didn't have anyone to look up to be me. And so it really just came to me one day as I was going through my journey after I wrote my book and then I started speaking. I realized that there was a specific need to have an organization. And I'll tell you, I searched and searched. And I thought it was already created, but there was none. So when I realized there wasn't one, I said, you know what? I didn't see it because it was my assignment to be it. And so I said, look.
I like that.
Yes. Girl, I really just was like, this is my responsibility. And so it's my role to ensure that the next generation of future aviators could see it so that they know that it's possible.
Come on. I love that. And what a goal to have. Now, okay, so you've been in the industry for quite a long time. Do you have any inspiring words for others who want to be in the same field as you?
Just do it. It doesn't matter what they tell you. No one's going to believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. And even though the doubt creeps in, you got to have tools in your toolbox to erase all of the fear and the doubt when it shows up, because it's your assignment to be it for that next person. Someone held the door open for you. It's your job to hold it open for someone else.
Ooh, I like the way that sounds. See, oh gosh, you see, this is why I needed to bring you on here today. You're such an inspiration. Okay, so how can our folks actually keep up with you? I remember when your friend, when I met you and your best friend, she said, if there's a Boeing jet out there that needs to be fixed, she's gonna fix it. That's my girl. So people want to keep up with someone like you. You're an inspiration to so many. How can they?
So I'm on Instagram, Sam, the number 2, Transform. I'm also on LinkedIn for my professional followers as Samantha T. Mitchell. And then on my website, samanthatmitchell.com, so you can find me there as well.
And tell them the name of your book one time for us.
My book is The 3 Keys to Unlock and Unleash Your Confidence.
Oh.
Available on Amazon.
Okay, available on it. What is one key that you can give us real quick?
Mindset.
Keeping your mind. How do we do that? What mindset do we need to have?
You have to identify the ritual that you need to have to keep it fresh, because there's a lot of noise out here in this world. How do you filter it so that you could start your days at level 10, and as the adversity and the turbulence kicks in, you're just going down a notch and you're just not starting low to where you're going to be negative?
I like that you use the turbulence analogy for a Black woman in aviation. Awesome. Don't you have a website for the Black Women in Aviation? Can you tell us that?
Yeah, so it's blackwomeninaviation.com.
Okay, blackwomeninaviation.com. Well, you heard it here first. Thank you so much for joining us, Samantha. You were awesome. Keep shining, queen, and we will have you back on the show. Don't worry, okay?
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Till next time.
A beautiful start to the first day of spring. Here's meteorologist Justin Chambers with the blooming flowers in Nevada. Justin.
Well, my home state of Nevada, the Mojave Desert. Look how pretty this is with some of the rain showers making those blooming flowers look very nice there. Look at that shot. And you can see all of these great, we're getting some great flowers around here, but this is out in the desert Southwest, and a just beautiful time of year, especially once you get some of that spring rain that rolls through. Now, milder and less windy for us, and not really tracking rain until we get later into the week, but we've already seen some great blossoming flowers out there. Of course, the cherry blossoms, they're supposed to peak peak sometime this week down in D.C. Temperatures a bit closer to average here for today, and then we do have a warmer week ahead. That's what we'll be tracking. So on your hour-by-hour forecast, low to mid-50s here across the board over the next few hours, and 56 is typically where we are this time of year. Most of us in the low to mid-50s across central Maryland for your afternoon. Today, the vernal equinox that officially happens at 5:24 this afternoon Eastern time. That is the spring equinox as well, and it's when the Earth's axis is neither tilted nor toward nor away from the sun. An equal amount of daylight in most of the latitudes that we're seeing when that sun is directly over the equator. So our pilot cast, great day to fly today, pilots. We're talking visual flight rules all day, not as much wind as we had yesterday. A large ridge of high pressure is going to be responsible for keeping us high and dry over the next couple of days. Now, Wednesday, we get a little bit more cloud cover rolling in, but those temperatures stay mild. And Thursday, a few more showers start rolling through for the afternoon and into the evening time. But really not a lot of rain, not until we get to Friday. That's really going to be the next weather maker coming in. And even though our temperatures stay above average, got to get through some rain showers. I mean, I looked down there at the 10-day forecast and 50s today with 70s on the way Thursday, even though we've got some rain to go along with that. And we back off into the 60s through your first weekend of spring with slightly cooler temperatures into the early part of next week.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The Alzheimer's Association has just released the findings of its 2023 Alzheimer's Disease Facts and Figures report. Dr. Nicole Purcell, a practicing neurologist and Senior Director of Clinical Practice at the Alzheimer's Association, joins us right now with more. Doc, tell us about the new report. What did it uncover?
Our 2023 Facts and Figures report shows that Alzheimer's disease continues to have a significant impact on affected individuals, their family members, and our country as a whole. There are more than 6.7 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease over the age of 65 in our country, and that's a significant number.
And what's happening here in Maryland?
In Maryland, there's approximately 110,000 individuals affected with the disease and more than 247,000 friends and family members that are providing care to those individuals. So still a significant number.
So, Doc, why are doctors and patients hesitant to discuss concerns around memory and thinking?
Well, individuals report that they would prefer to speak to their friends and family members about their memory and cognitive concerns so that they can compare notes to see if what they're experiencing is normal or abnormal for age. They're also very concerned that they'll receive a diagnosis that's as serious as dementia. So it's, very alarming and scary to them. They're concerned that they'll get a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. And they're also concerned that they may get a misdiagnosis if they discuss their symptoms with their primary care physician.
What can be done to make these important conversations an essential part of routine care at the earliest point of concern?
Well, primary care physicians report that they normally wait for the patient or their loved one to bring up concerns about memory during a clinical visit. And they report that if they have an informal discussion with them prior to the visit actually beginning, they're more likely to get information with regard to the patient's memory and cognition when they're relaxed. So I think it's important to offer that piece of advice to primary care physicians.
I see. And what were the most surprising results of the annual Facts and Figures report that you got?
The most surprising thing is that these discussions are not happening, whether the individual is not comfortable having the discussion with their primary care physician or the primary care physician is not bringing it up at every clinical visit. I think it's just stunning that these conversations are not happening, and they need to happen earlier.
Where can our viewers go to get more information?
You can get more information on our Alzheimer's Association website at alz.org, and you can find information on Alzheimer's dementia as well as our Facts and Figures report.
Doc, thanks so much for this great information.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Sure. Have a good one. Still ahead, he's creating a public spectacle, proposing in public, but it's all a joke. Why people online are sending him grief or support. So we wanted you to tell it. Are you a fan of public proposals? Most of you are saying no. Keep it private. Thanks for inviting us to your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.